What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Jeff. I'm back, and today I'm be talking about the WWE draft that's going down tonight. And I'm just getting my personal thoughts on how this draft should be, and who should be traded to different brands, so to speak. And just hoping that this whole show be good. It's day one of the draft, but I hope they really like kick it off with a bang and make some good changes and all that, because with AEW killing it in the ratings right now, something has to change. Like, this is a wake up call for Vince McMahon. And I'm telling you right now, shit ain't looking pretty. It may not seem like it right now when you're talking endorsements and all those other things, but when you look at it from a rating perspective and what they bring to the table, it doesn't compare to what AEW doing. And I've been a WWE fan for almost 24 years. But this is the time right now where I say they got their work cut out right now. They got a lot of work to do, and time is of the essence. But that's neither here or there right now. We talking about the moment right here, and that's the draft. So let's get right into it. I feel like they should take it the classic route, and that is having matches with the opposing team. So it could be from a singles match, tag team, triple threat, fatal four-way, whatever the case may be. But back in the days, if we watched WWE at the time when they did the draft, they always used to do that. And prime example, if SmackDown loses to Raw, then it will be a SmackDown wrestler getting drafted to Raw, based on it being randomized. And that made shit a lot interesting, because back then it was like, holy shit, like we didn't know who was gonna get moved or anything like that, whatever the case may be. And that makes shit so much interesting, because now it would be more better feuds. Whoever's getting moved, it's just brought excitement, because you had to be tuned into it now because of what they bring to the table. You know what I mean? And it always made us excited back then. When the draft went down and people got moved, prime example, like Undertaker, Triple H, John Cena, Chris Jericho, CM Punk, JBL, Jeff Hardy, like the list goes on. Like, it was very, very good, because we knew what superstars can make shit interesting and have you tune in every single week. And that's the energy I need now. Like, that's had to happen too. So I'm hoping they go that route and do that instead, versus having each selective, like, have each person call out who they want from Raw, who they want from SmackDown. Cause I think that shit was just fucking stupid. That shit was stupid last year. I don't know what the hell Stephanie and fucking Shane McMahon or whoever it was did that shit, but it was utter garbage. That's how. This is not the NBA draft, NFL draft, that you pick and choose who you want. You know what I mean? And that was just retarded. Like, let it be randomized. If it's randomized, fine. I like it that way. The only thing that just get excluded out is the champions. So that being Roman Reigns, he's automatically staying with SmackDown since he's the Universal Champion. He stays there. Big E stays on Raw because he's the WWE Champion. But you can have your Intercontinental Championship be moved to a different brand. You got the United States Championship moved to a different brand, which needs to happen. I think it needs to happen because, to be honest, Shinsuke Nakamura being IC champion, we haven't even seen him in so many matches since he won that over whatchamacallit, Apollo Crews. Like, and it's sad because we know what Shinsuke is capable of, and having him side by side with Rick Boot and all that, it makes shit better. And I'm like, I want to see him more in matches, and I feel like he'll get that more when he go on Raw versus him being on SmackDown. And I need that to change up. I needed to change up a whole lot because I know what he's capable of. Y'all know what he's capable of. I want him to see more IC matches, IC championship matches, and all that, but it starts with having good competitors to go for it, So I want him moved to Raw, and I want who's the United States champion right now? Oh yeah, Damian Priest. Damian Priest. That's where it gets tricky because he's okay in Raw right now. Like, it's not so bad, but a change needs to happen. And if this means Damian Priest moving on to SmackDown, then by all means, let him do that. First start, let him do the open challenge, or he can get into a feud with a couple of people. That's okay. I wouldn't mind that at all, so to speak. But when it comes to championships, especially getting moved, the IC in the United States, those are the only two that can actually happen. I mean, it could happen for the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships because look at what happened with the Street Profits. The Street Profits were Raw Tag Team Champions at the time and ended up swapping out with the New Day because New Day got moved to Raw and Street Profits got moved to SmackDown, and all they did was just swap belts because they never lost them. So all you do is just swapping belts, and then you continue on from that point on. So those can get a pass. I can understand that 100%. So I would say a whole day move around with the Intercontinental and the United States Championship. That would be a whole lot better. And with the Raw and the SmackDown championships, whoever's holding the belts right now, which currently is the Street Profits from the Usos. My bad, I'll take it back. The Usos is holding it on SmackDown right now. On Raw is RK Bro, Randy Orton, and Matt Riddle. So I wouldn't mind it being a swap. It would be cool. But the reason why I think it ain't gonna happen because you got the bloodline right now with the Usos and Roman, Paul Heyman, and all them, and they don't want to break them up at this point. So I think it's going to stay where it's at. You know what I mean? So I don't expect that to be the case. But for everybody else, here's what I want to be changed. I think Drew McIntyre needs to be put on SmackDown. He had his good run on Monday Night Raw, especially during the pandemic when they was in the Thunderdome. And he held it down. I'll give Drew his flowers because I think out of anybody that was with WWE when everything was locked down, they had to work in the Performance Center before they moved to the Thunderdome in Orlando. Drew McIntyre was front and center and holding shit down. That's one person that I could say made WWE keep going during that pandemic because it was really, really fucking tough, and they was losing ratings. People didn't really give a shit about it because with no fans, the energy in that was just dead. But Drew made it to the sense where you have you tune in, just the promos and all that, just to make shit interesting. I mean, a lot of people did too that played a huge role, during that time in the Thunderdome. But I give it to Drew McIntyre because he ain't let none of that shit phase him. None of it. And been a good ass champion after beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania last year. And just continuing and getting better. So, I get that to him 100%. But I think it's time for a clean start now, and I'd rather Drew being on SmackDown, competing for the Universal Championship. But I probably don't see that happening at that because he got his eyes set on Big E. Remember what Bobby said when him and Drew were feuding, they saying that, if I beat you in the championship match, I forgot what pay-per-view it was, but he said if I beat you in this match, you are not allowed to challenge for the championship as long as I have possession of it. But I don't have possession anymore, and Big E beating him twice, excuse me, now it put Drew in line to go for it now. And I know Big E, he ain't going to back up from a challenge and all that stuff, so I definitely see this going down. And I want Drew to get moved to SmackDown just to have a better feud, so to speak, because him and Roman will be spot on, because we saw that when it was Clash of Champions, and they was getting busy in there. Like I say that was like one of the greatest fucking matches I've seen. And I just I don't see it happen. I wish it could, but it don't. But who is me? Anything can happen. You know what I mean? Anything. So, I'm sorry. And I said Clash Champ. I meant to say Survivor Series last year. My bad. I got the two mixed up, so to speak. But it was a good ass match. But another person I wanted to see get moved. And this is the direction I'm heading in. It's the women's division. Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan needs to be moved. Charlotte. I think I keep Charlotte where she's at. But I'm gonna lean over to Liv Morgan, because Liv Morgan deserves a push right now. You know, she deserves a whole lot better. And I think they dropped the ball with her at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view without giving her that Money in the Bank contract. Instead, giving it to Nikki Ash, who she ended up cashing in on Charlotte the next day and winning the Raw Women's Championship. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, this woman busts her ass and show why she needs to be more noticeable. I see it, hella fans see it at that. And I'm thinking like, yo, what is going on here? If the fans is by a certain superstar's side and you can hear the pop going off in the crowd, you gotta gravitate towards that. You gotta take that ball and run with it. Because this is what going to make them big. And if that happens and they decide to go with that specific superstar that's getting the most pop, that's getting like put over the most, then you got to roll with it. And it's that superstar's job to make sure that they prove to not only to the people in the back, but also to the crowd itself that I'm worthy of being a champion and more noticeable. And Liv Morgan has that potential. You know, I've been doing a whole character builder for her when she left the Riot Squad and decided to go solo, and we never got that side of her that much. She may win a little bit of matches, so to speak, and then she went back to losing again. So shit have to change now. I think she paid her dues, and now it's time for her to hold a championship now. And if people try to say, oh, she ain't worthy to be a champion because she's small and you know she can't do this, that, and the third, I'll call bullshit on that. Not saying it's true, but if anybody out there that's saying that but don't deserve a chance right there because of those situations, I say I call bullshit. Reason why? Look at Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss don't have the height of a Charlotte Flair, the size of Sasha Banks or Bayley or anything like that, and she ended up winning. That's one reason. Here's another reason. Carmella. We never thought Carmella would win SmackDown Women's Championship, and she won it off Money in the Bank. And once that happened, it went from being went off at the Money in the Bank, where they called it a fluke, they redid it again, where she ended up winning again, went on the cash in, became SmackDown Women's Champion. And she was just a heel at the time that people really didn't give a fuck about, but because they booing her and you getting crowd reactions, they're going to keep going on and on with it, But I felt with Liv Morgan, she deserved more, and I think they really fucked up without giving that contract to her. Because I guarantee you, no matter who she would have cashed in on, it would have been a big pop. The same way how it was for Big E, it would have been the same way for Liv Morgan. I promise you that. Like, I'm behind this woman 100% because it's like she deserved a lot more. So I'm really hoping that big things happen for her, and I think it can happen that she gets moved to Raw. Call me crazy, but I think it can happen. I think being on SmackDown is just too much firepower there for her to not really get that opportunity. Because when you have people like Becky Lynch who came back, and you have Bianca Belair, when you have Sasha Banks, when you have Carmella, so to speak, and Zelina Vega, you really ain't going to get the credit you deserve. And I feel like you're going on Raw where it's more differently now, and you may have a shot there, can be able to elevate your career. So I'm hoping that Liv Morgan get moves to Raw, because this women's division needs to get better. It's been trash. It's been trash for both brands, Raw and SmackDown, because some matches being redundant, and it's just the promos it's cringeworthy. Which leads me into Bianca Belair. I feel like Bianca is reading things off a script, and it pisses me off because the things that I'm expecting her to say is not happening. Like, when you look at her character and you look at the promos and who she been feuding with, when she been feuding with Sasha Banks and they promos they had, you were sold more on what Sasha said versus you were sold more what Bianca said. Because Bianca sounded like a generic motherfucking superstar. Like, and I know with Bianca, I know what she's capable of on the mic, but I feel like it's just holding her back of what she want to say. And that's what really pisses me off, because she got so much potential on the mic. She do. Like, you can put out a curse word if you could. Like, I was going to say, like, ass and bitch and all that shit. Like, you got to make it interesting. She sounded so much generic saying that. Like, girl, bye, or all this other shit. And it's like, no. It don't work that way. This is why I wasn't really sold on her that much. She's a good in-ring competitor. Make no mistake about it. I'm never going to debate anybody about that shit right there. She is outstanding. But when it comes to the mic skills, it just don't click with me. Like, I'm not sold on it like that. And there was numerous opportunities where the kid got better. When she feuded with Bayley, that was it right there. When she feuded with Sasha, when she won the championship, that could have been it right there. Hell, what I'm feeling right now with Becky Lynch could have been better. And every time when I feel like it's gonna happen, like, this is where she's gonna get better, and then the match, like her in-ring ability, is gonna make it outstanding for her. The promos dropped the ball. So I don't know, man. I just feel like Bianca needs to speak to the people in the back and say, let me have more control of my character. Let me control my promos right now and show y'all what I can do. Because I tell you right now, if she does that, you see the difference between how the scripted promo she has versus the ones where she just talk from the top of her head. I'm telling you, watch how that shit be a big difference and make shit better. You know what I mean? So that's all I hope for, but we just have to see. But I want this women's division to be a whole lot better. And I'm hoping the draft really set the tone for that too. You know what I mean? So we'll see what's up. Again, I really don't know who else should be moved, so to speak. But I'm really hoping for being some big household names that can be able to even it out, especially for Monday Night Raw. With the ratings being just trash, shit has to be better. SmackDown, it's still an A show, but even that was losing some type of like some ratings down the line with that because there's so much repetitive matches and all this other shit, so to speak. And shit's gotta get better, I'm really hoping that they really listen to us fans want, because at the end of the day, it all relies on us. We'll tell you when this shit good, and we tell you when this shit is bad. And if the shit is bad, it's your job to fix it. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, it's just crazy. I mean, it's one person I want to see go to SmackDown and shake that up too. And he paid his dues on Monday Night Raw as well, so it's time for him to turn things up a notch now. That's Bobby Lashley. I'm like, this man paid his dues already. He did what he's supposed to do. He's been a good ass champion at that. And it's time to see him in different feuds. And him against Roman will be pretty fucking good. I think so. Bobby Lashley against Roman Reigns. And then you got Brock Lesnar, who's on SmackDown as well. So you can still have that feud with Brock. That's where it gets really interesting in. So it can go many ways, so to speak. It's just up to how this shit gets, what's the right word for it? I lost my train of thought, but yeah, I get my drift with it. But they gotta set the tone. Tonight, it has to be set in the right direction of where they want to go. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping that shit really turns out well and none of this be a whole big ass situation to where it was like it's the same old draft all over again, like blase. Nah, I hope they really change a lot of things differently and make it interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. I say like a few people getting switched because I think they're gonna still keep the same amount of superstars there, so to speak. I forgot to mention with NXT. I'm sorry, I kept them out of the limb too. With NXT, I heard it may be a different call-ups going up. There's rumors saying that Dakota Kai and get called up to the main roster. Xia Li, the Hit Row. A lot of names is up in the air for that, and that would be cool. Like I wouldn't mind that. I don't mind seeing Dakota Kai in the main roster. I just hope they take care of her the same way I hope they take care of Toni Storm. The same way I want them to take care of Chelsea Blackheart and her name gonna come to my head. Her name gonna come to the top of my head. Chelsea Blackheart and what was her tag team partner? Y'all let me know in the comments. I thought I had it in my head, but it slipped my mind. But y'all let me know in the comments. But I hope they have a big push, a very big push, so to speak. They need to be women's tag team champions. WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. They gotta have them because you don't bring them back. You don't bring them from the NXT to the main roster and not do nothing with them. You say I'm gonna rave about Toni Storm. Toni Storm got potential. Toni Storm can fuck bitches up, so to speak. but you have to give her that chance. And I do not want to see her in the back, because for all that, you could have kept her at NXT. You could have. You know what I mean? So I hope they really change things up. The same way how I feel about Keith Lee now, who's going by Bearcat. Keith Bearcat Lee. And it looks like he's more on the heel side of things now, which I have no problem with, because he may play that pretty well. Give it time. You see, he squashed Tozawa in like a couple seconds. And you know what? As a heel character, you keep building him up that way, and then you have him competing for, it could be the IC, United States Championship, whatever the case may be. Have a good run with that. Once that's done, you move up to the championship picture, because they capable of it. Especially this guy that I'm about to bring up right now, Karrion Kross. Y'all better take him off that sex slave direction, because that shit is not him. Like, this was not Karrion Kross when he was with NXT. He was a threat, a force to be reckoned with. And I'm hoping and praying, do not drop the ball with this guy right here, because Karrion Kross has potential. This man, he's worthy enough to hold a WWE championship. That's how I see it. You know, this man is that fucking good. I'm giving him high praise. The same praises I give everybody else, I'm gonna get the same praise for Keith Lee. I'm gonna get the same praises for Karrion Kross, because I know how dangerous they can be. They just gotta have the right feel, and the moment just gotta be right there. You know, so I'm really hoping for that. But nonetheless, I'm excited for the draft. Now I'm hoping what I talked about earlier really do kick in, so to speak. So we'll just see what happens. But that was my thoughts on it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Who should be moved to Raw? Who should be moved to SmackDown? You know, what do you think about the NXT call-ups that may happen? Whatever the case may be. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. If you want, you can be able to donate as well in my Cash App, which is $Born Fresh. And you know, it's very much appreciated. I appreciate everything. I appreciate y'all tuning in, hearing what I have to say, and you know, just giving me your thoughts on a lot of things, man. And it means a lot. I'm telling y'all right now. Like, I'm so blessed to have y'all. Even with the subscribers I have right now, I don't give a damn. I'm blessed to have them right there. Because y'all taking time out to listen to me and, you know, really, you know, being part of my journey of being better as a YouTuber, so to speak. So, you know, I give y'all so much praises. I thank y'all again so much. And it means a lot again. But let me get up out of here. I can't wait for tonight. And I'll be back to cover day one of the WWE draft and who's been moved and all that right there. And we'll talk about if it's been a good move, if it's been a bad move, whatever the case may be. So yeah, so let me get out of here. Thank you so much again. I'll be tuned in tonight, see what's going on, and sometime out of tomorrow, I'll make my thoughts on day one of the draft right there, and we'll go from there. I appreciate it. Y'all have yourself a good day. Peace.